With utmost reverence, I approach the Panasonic Slimline portable tape recorder. You're listening to The Modern Imagination with Slapstick Machete. This is episode 6, and I'm not fucking around anymore.
No one's going to think of it as anything more than just someone rambling, someone losing their mind, someone being a little silly, someone trying to entertain us, feed us. We are hungry for entertainment. 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 Applause for your favorite entertainer. Applause for your favorite entertainer. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I have a toothache and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I got a toothache. And it hurts really bad. I thought I took the day off because I got a toothache, and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I got a toothache, and it hurts really bad. And I'm pushing this song to the limit. That's going as long as I want to go. This is my song, and I'm going to do it my way. And I'm not going to follow your rules and regulations of the monopolized imagination. I don't give a fuck. You can't control me. Clean up your room. I don't want to clean up your room. Clean up your room. I don't want to clean up your room. I said clean up your room. Get a job. Get a good paying gig. Get you a house. Get you a mortgage. Get you some investments. Get you a retirement plan. Get you a second house. Pay for your kids to go to college. Get a promotion. Work your ass off. Play the game. You gotta give some to get some. You gotta sell your soul for a while before you can find what you really want. You gotta play by the rules. You gotta... Tonight was the night, he knew it, like some light had shone down and some groovy angelic being of light and wonder slid down a golden slide and smacked him in the face and said, "Bitch, you are a rock star." And he heard it, cold, and colder still, cold to the bone. He stood barefoot in the sand, a speck of dust staring into the abyss. Not a shiver struck forward, still as time itself. Still as time itself. You hear me? If there's one phrase you remember, that's it. I'm not saying it again, you better remember it. Skip back, yeah. We're in the big wave tonight at the stroke of midnight. Riding wave into the dark is better than sex and piggyback rides. Swing sets and Bobby pins, even tree climbing and skydiving. A splish splash, I was taking a bath. Cold and drugged up, he dragged his board into the sand. Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Cold and drugged up, he dragged his board into the sand. Eyes shut, he took his last breath and surrendered his soul. Eyes shut, he took his last breath and surrendered his soul. Applause for your favorite entertainer. Feed us. We are hungry for entertainment. The biggest wave on the planet that night. At the stroke of midnight. I guess this is my way of saying good night. Good night. Click, clack, click, clack. Hey, it's me. Back at the keys, baby. Except now it's dripping with blood ink, and I'm spitting fire on the page. Better look out. Beware of Larry. He's gonna get you. Beware of Larry. He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you.
Once upon a time, there was an orchestra which was all busy tuning up.
What is this? Oh, was that your tape?
Yeah. I was using some of my original stuff and then some other samples.
The fact that you are like doing all of this with tapes is insane to me.
Like,
it doesn't fucking like make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
It literally makes no sense. I have no fucking
I'm
idea
just
what you're
DJing
doing.
with a cassette
I
player.
have no idea what you're doing, but you're like controlling everything.
I was telling Colin, I was like, yeah, he's playing the tape.
You know what? I understand.
How do you do this?
I don't know, man.
Do people do this?
I don't know,
This has to
probably.
be- This has to be like a legit thing that like people do.
I'm sure there's probably a
It's like-
community.
Oh, for sure. You're doing it like the hard way, to be honest. But it's fun. But hear me out, and only leave the hard way.
The hard way is, and that's why
So you see people, you see the DJs with like the pads, right?
Yeah.
So you got one pad. But
I
you're
just,
making it fun.
you have to look at this
You
and
will
think there's
evolve.
infinite possibilities.
This is your first guitar, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but what if I
shitty-
just keep with
This
this
is
whole
shitty
time?
goodwill guitar that you might keep. I mean, Jack White kept his shitty plastic guitar. That's what he plays with.
Why isn't this
No,
finally
like, it's a
you
good
know?
thing. I'm just saying, I think you'll evolve to want to manipulate that and like
More things.
But I
way
don't
more
have,
ways.
that costs money though, so I focus on this.
Oh yeah, start here. But that's basically essentially what you're doing. It's just like,
It's just like a pad.
and that way's hard too because you have to like spend hours and hours like piecing shit out just to get it to where you can hit it.
Yeah.
You're just going raw. So like,
Well, it's fun.
you were the guy that did it in the 80s first or something. You
That's,
made
I think
mini pads.
that was my point. Is like he can't be the only person that's doing
No,
this.
no.
It just-
there has,
but
there has
right
to be
now the-
there has to be somebody else.
In the past, yeah.
There's like analog.
It's post rock.
That's
It came after rock.
Post producing. What do we call it? Like post.
The genre is called the space between the notes.
Post space between the notes.
Post space rock between the notes.
Post notes.
Post notes. That is it.
Not even.
It is. Post beats and post notes. That's it. Post music. It's just post. Post body, post vibe. Yeah. Decade, the roaring 20s got me feeling really shitty. I'm off to a bad start. I got trapped on an elevator a couple days ago. I got trapped on an elevator a couple days ago. I got words to say. I got a story to tell. I'm trying to find the best way to communicate everything that's inside my head, to let this vision unfold. Are you ready? Are you prepared? I'm not gonna make it simple. It's gonna be a little abstract. It's gonna be psychedelic. I'll be honest, you may have to listen to this a few times to really get everything you need to get. I've got a story to tell, and it spans 1,000 years. Are you ready? Do you want to listen to my sci-fi trilogy? Do you want to listen to my sci-fi trilogy? Do you want to listen to the story that was conceived in my head from the man in the gold frame. Who is the man in the gold frame? Who is Bystander? Who is Francis J. Harding? Who is Ludger? Who is Dusty? What is Kepler 452b? Where does Panthera 95 fit into this? Where does Salmon Chicken fit into this? Where does Orator fit into this? What if I told you that all the ideas I've been sharing are all connected to the same fictional universe that I've imagined? These are all characters. This is me, blurring the line between reality and fantasy. This is me losing my shit. I've got a lot of mental illness in my family, and I'm disregarding. I'm not getting my diagnosis. Oh, I took the day off. Because I got a toothache in it, and it hurts really bad. I wonder what I'm gonna play next. We got a lot of space on this tape. How long will this loop continue? How long will this loop continue? How long will this loop continue? I said, how long will this loop continue? How long will you keep saying the same bullshit? Will you keep spitting off the same old lies? How long will you keep making up voices? How long will you keep improvising? Why don't you grow up and be a big boy? Why don't you work on some real songs? Why don't you work on some tangible, accessible projects? Why don't you make your stuff a little more simple? All this complexity, no one's gonna want any more. Everyone's gonna get bored. It's gonna be too much. They need something to hold on to. They need something to grasp. That's what I've been told. That's what people are saying. And I'm trying my best to communicate all this absurdity. It's kind of hard if you travel through time and you've seen a lot of strange things, and you've accepted those strange things as normalcy, and you come back and you're like talking about all this shit, and everything you say can somehow be misconstrued and offensive. Everything you're saying can somehow just be gibberish. No one's gonna think of it as anything more than just someone rambling, someone losing their mind, someone being a little silly, someone trying to entertain us, feed us. We are hungry for entertainment. 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 Applause for your favorite entertainer. Applause for your favorite entertainer. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I have a toothache and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. And I'm pushing this song to the limit. That's going as long as I want to go. This is my song, and I'm going to do it my way. And I'm not going to follow your rules and regulations of the monopolized imagination. I don't give a fuck. You can't control me. Clean up your room. I don't want to clean up your room. Clean up your room. I don't want to clean up your room.
Think of me as the Beach Boys in zero gravity on the edge of a black hole being swept throughout the horizon of all time and space, with some occasional beats, illegal samples, and versions of Experimental. Experimental.
A song is a soul's last hope. A song is a soul's last hope. A star, Mother Earth's oldest friend. Comfort her, and she will comfort you. One day closer to one day more. A moment anew, a moment gone. Faster and faster and faster and faster. The world is a stranger place. Patterns enforced by money, cash flow, withdrawals, and deposits. Yet, how strange, the world of fleshly commodification. Outgoing messages, 57.5 beats per minute, macaroni and cheese with Japanese whiskey. Would you? I want life. Would you? I want love. Would you? I want everything there is. Would you? I want life. Would you? I want love. Would you? I want everything there is. I feel tense, my back, broken glass, crumpled on parchment and rolled up. I feel tense, I deserve this. Claws in the arm, I was gone so long. Young wax cannot save me. Young wax cannot save me. Pink flip-flops, black jeans, tucked into blue shirt until the frame light, sweeping black hair. Our principal character, Francis J. Harding, the history of the cosmos before and the anticipation of the cosmos beyond. His actions presume foreknowledge of the events leading to our extinction. I mustn't take a break. More Japanese whiskey, more grass and glass, more mixtapes, more mess, more attempts to organize my physical headspace in air, in matter, in meaning, peace upon, feast upon, be wary of familiarity. Look around you. What have you made? What have you felt? You have not found it, have you?
Have you?
Have you?
Have you?
Unfamiliarity is hidden in familiarity.
Have you?
Unfamiliarity is hidden in familiarity.
Have you?
Unfamiliarity is hidden in familiarity.
Have you?
Stop buying new gear and dive inward. You have everything you need within arm's reach.
We're surfing on a cosmic highway. We're surfing on a cosmic highway. On a cosmic highway. We're surfing on a cosmic highway. Let the beat sing into my Panasonic. Panasonic. Get into my Panasonic. Nothing beats singing into my Panasonic. Nothing beats singing into my Panasonic. To my Panasonic, to my Panasonic. Zap, 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 zap. Everybody, zap, 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 zap. Everybody do a flop. Zip, 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 zip. Zap, 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 zip. Zip, 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 zap, 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 zap. I feel the presence. I feel the presence of the imagination.
You gotta try to play it safe. You gotta try to play it safe. Well, motherfuckers, I'm not playing it safe. I'm climbing to the top of the mountain, and I'm building whatever fucking altar I wanna build, and I'm sacrificing myself on the stage, laying myself bare for the whole world to see how fucked up I am and how fucked up we could be if we just let the imagination take over, if we remove hesitation, if we just stand still and see that everything is a goddamn new moment under the sun. Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you really, really listening? Has this song lasted too long? Have I lost you? Will no one make it this far? Has everyone given up? What if I told you that treasure is near? What if I told you things that you've never fucking heard of? Things that you've never even fucking heard of? Things that you call original, new things popping off the top of my head. Because I'm setting the imagination free. And I'm being wild like a motherfucking kid running round in the swamp. Running round. Some time has passed. How to reference that time in my own reality is hard to do, for all I have are these books from times unknown to me, and I assume that I come after them, but I know nothing of what you would consider the current time. If anyone finds these tapes in the shoebox, then don't take them lightly, because I believe myself to be trapped in a purgatory of some kind, off the grid, an infinite madhouse. Stairs that all lead to the 11th floor. An elevator that only goes to the 11th floor. Every door is the same room number. Every time I go in, it's the same room. If I move one tape in one room, it moves in all of them. I've traveled hundreds, maybe thousands of miles. An endless trail that always begins and ends in the same spot in the 11th floor ward. Whatever game this is, or fate that I somehow deserve, or maybe an accident in the fabric of space-time, whatever it is that led me here, leaves me nothing to do but imagine and be open to the voices that want to speak to me in my imagination. And I believe, and it's taken a lot of time to establish these beliefs, I believe that I am not alone. I believe that my imagination is a portal into other worlds, other times, other places. I believe that there are creatures advanced that are trying to communicate to me, evolved beings, entities that understand that our agency is above atoms, that our atoms exchange, and that have sought out the depths of the imagination and somehow have found me in this timeless, placeless 11th floor ward. In your time, you may describe this place as hell.
Which modality, how's that word? Which modality are you going to use? If you have peripheral degeneration, and if you feel, in this particular case, that should be treated, and if you have difficulty seeing it with your ophthalmoscope, and I think it's a good idea if you're thinking of using photocoagulation, not just to examine the patient with the indirect, but examine them with the direct, because that's what you're going to do with a photocoagulator. If you have difficulty seeing well in the periphery, for heaven's sakes, decide to do cryocoagulation, which you'll be able to do easier there. If you have lattice or equatorial, and equatorial is generally far back enough so you could treat it easily with a photocoagulator, but if you're having a little trouble seeing it, maybe because of lens opacities, why not use cryocongelation?
Because there's a single moment of something happening in the now that is a line drawn in the sand between spoken and unspoken. If you know what I mean. This is the modern imagination with Slapstick, Machete. This is the modern, the present imagination, the present, the here, the nowness, not the remote past, not the remote moments, the moments. Rewind. Moments. Raptor Smoke Records. This is the modern imagination with Slapstick, Machete. This is the modern imagination with Slapstick, Machete.
This is the modern imagination with Slapstick, Machete.
And I'm gonna be in the moment and I'm gonna let it flow, and I don't understand the gibberish that sometimes comes out of my mouth, but I'm not saying it because it's something that I said before, whether that's on the paper, on the page.
Oh my God. I opened the shoebox and I had placed something in there. I had placed a tape, and the tape was gone. And there was something. There was words that were typewritten. Let me find these real quick, because this is what it said. This is what it said. These aren't words I wrote. This is my first proof of communication outside of the 11th Floor Ward. Listen, these words. This is a letter to me from someone beyond this present cosmos of mine. Someone from the cosmos beyond. Here are the words. What words will transpire when I see thunder in your eyes? I think this person is speaking to me. Raging, lightning striking upon the modern cannibals of the 24th. I believe this is someone from the 24th century. They're referencing things from the 24th century that I've been imagining. My old flesh is dying, followed by an organ player. And that reminds me of Sam and Chicken and the improvised jazz band that traveled back in time with Bystander's time machine. I speak of Bystander as the third person because it's the bystander that's in the future to me. I haven't experienced this yet. I've only imagined it and manifested in the cosmos somehow from this pocket in the universe that I'm trapped in. My old flesh is dying, followed by an organ player and a synthesizer with a mind of its own. Should I trust the one I am drawn to? Should I discern voices, all words, chisel away and find perfectly polished and peer-reviewed poetry? That's fucking hilarious. I have a thought that I want to get out there, and it may prove my literal insanity, or it may be something that I need to share so that we can work through this together. I'm trying to figure this out, and if anyone is listening to this, if anyone hears my cries, I am trapped inside this tape, this is the furthest I've reached into the world. I am trapped in the 11th Floor Ward, and I beckon you, I welcome you to ascend and come on up and communicate with me, for who knows what items I might find in the shoebox. All right, this is the second page. Have I spent too much time talking about time? I seek to preserve my consciousness. I seek to preserve my dreams. I seek to preserve my imagination. Images, images, images. 45 minutes of pure fantasy, baby. I really hope I can memorize this whole thing in just a few days. I don't know what that's referencing. Am I halfway through? Is it still raining outside? Did anyone come to the show, or are you all alone? See, I believe that in the 21st century right now, that parallel to this moment, there is anticipation of the second Salmon Chicken show at the Villager on 4/26, 2020. I want to say that again then. Am I halfway through? It seems like words of encouragement. Am I halfway through? Is it still raining outside? Did anyone come to the show, or are you all alone? I hope not. I like people. I like them a lot. And if that's not badass, then my rock and roll days are over. Silly, silly man. Did you really build a time-traveling machine? Rambling, rambling man. Have you lost your train of thought? I have. This is confirmation that I have possibly pierced through the veil, and I can interact with times and places beyond my present from this small space, from these items that are within arm's reach.
Who knows what take this is? Sometimes you don't get it right the first time, or just don't feel right. So you rewind and play the tape again. You hit record and you give it another take, you give it another try. Give it another take, you give it another try. Give it another take. Come on now. Come on now, there's some magic in the room. Do you feel it? There's some magic in the room. Do you feel it? There's some motherfucking magic in the room. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. Give it a try, give it another take, give it a go. Maybe this one's the one that you're gonna put out there for the whole world to see. How fucked up you are, how fucked up you could be. You got so many words, you got so many words flowing, you got so many words you haven't even said yet. Catchphrases, hot verses. Take your time, take your time, slow like molasses, tripping off the vine. You know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Molasses, slowly rolling down the vine. Rolling over every fucking storm. Molasses, take your time, face yourself. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay to take your time and pace yourself. Not everything is so urgent. Not everything is so urgent. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. You know, I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. I took the day off because I got a toothache and it hurts really bad. So I'm gonna make the most of all the time in front of me, and I'm gonna record an episode of The Modern Imagination with Slapstick Machete, and I'm gonna make a beat, and I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, and I'm gonna get wiggling, dancing. I'm gonna get yelling. Anyone standing by the elevator, you get to hear this for the first time before anyone else gets to hear these words that I just typed on my typewriter. You get to hear it for the first time way ahead of everybody else. You get to hear it for the first time I can't sit still, I can't focus. Goddamn, what's the task at hand? I can't sit still, I can't focus. Goddamn, what's the task at hand? I can't sit still, I can't focus. Goddamn, what's the task at hand? What did I set out to do? Who are you watching me? What are your intentions? What is your point of view? Tell me more about you. I just accidentally ashed on my Panasonic right on the record button. I might be sanctifying it, saying, this is the take, this is the take, this is the try. I'm giving it all I've got, trying my best. Half of this is improvised, half of this is typed up. Half of this is improvised, half of this is typed up. There's nothing wrong with a little improv. There's nothing wrong with a little improv. There's nothing wrong with a little improv. There's nothing wrong with a cheap $150 drum machine that you learn how to make a beat on. There's nothing wrong with recording a tape onto your Sony Sound Rider, plugging up a few wires and letting it blow. How long is this song? Fuck you. I'm not trying to fit within the rules and regulations of the monopolized imagination.
The salesman sits with his customer. I don't want close to your bottom line. I want the end of the road, out the door, gunpoint price. I want to slap you around and make you cry like a little wimp. I'm going to ride you like a bull till your hooves are worn to the bone. Hey, I know you're just trying to make a buck. I get it. I know you're just trying to make a buck. I get it. I know you're just trying to make a buck. I get it. I know you're just trying to make a buck. I get it. You're just trying to get a little commission. I get it. I get it. You're just trying to get a little commission. I get it. I get it. I don't give a rat's ass about your wife, your kids, your medical bills, your sorrows, or your woes. You ain't gonna last long in this world, kid. Now keep your mouth shut, get your ass off your chair and hurry off to your manager. You ain't shit, 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 you ain't shit. You ain't shit, you're just a fucking car salesman. You ain't shit. Thank you, goodbye. Later that night, the salesman parks under a highway. He grips the steering wheel, shuts his eyes, and yells into the darkness. There's always the sound of a freight train in his head, getting closer and closer, but never close enough. He writes in a notebook. An hour is never enough time to find clarity or reflect on the matters of an ongoing life. I'm just trying to catch up. Always anxious and feeling distant from myself. Sometimes I want to escape, but what would escaping do, and what does it even look like? Sell, sell, sell. I fit well within the system, my charisma corrupted. I dare not try to break free from this empty system. Why does everyone just accept this? Why does everyone just accept this? Always looking at my watch. Have I reached my limit? I hate catering to people's foolish desires. It makes me sick. It makes me sick to see desires created and desires fulfilled. It's all in fucking vain. Then he trailed off into some prayers and some poems. He falls asleep. Then he trailed off into some prayers and poems. He falls asleep. Then he trailed off into some prayers and poems. He falls asleep. Then he trailed off into some prayers and poems and falls asleep. Gun waving in your face. Buckle up, bucko. You're in for one wild ride. This is one treat you won't want to miss. I'll ride your sweet tooth. Pull up a chair, grab something cold, and start chug-a-lying. His yellow suit blazing in the sun and shards of glass on the floor. Damn. This is the twist. Next thing I saw was a bullet running straight through the back of the priest's head. I can't shut my eyes lest I see that look on his face right before his head exploded all over my shrimp and grits.
Fuck! I've been stuck on an elevator for an hour. And now I'm just waiting on some Little Caesars pizza. I'm fucking raging! I ain't never been so angry in my fucking life! Ah!
Oh shit, I gotta have some pizza. Here's the deal. Bystander was trapped in the 11th floor ward, outside of time and space, with all these strange artifacts, cassettes, machines, a typewriter, shoe boxes, books, vinyl, like a time capsule of sorts he was trapped in. And so he had nothing left to do but dive into those objects and somehow find himself salvation from this bottomless pit. And so the line that's immediately drawn in the story, which I call a story for your sake now, but the line drawn here is the line between reality and fantasy, and we question whether this was someone going mad or whether this is someone who actually prevailed in their theorizing and dove deep enough within objects to attach their theories of the imagination and time to something that somehow created a portal, a window into the cosmos and the cosmos beyond. Like old Eastern Orthodox icons, the paintings that were windows into places far beyond anything we could ever imagine. These were symbols and inscriptions on walls that foretold and gave prophecy, oral tradition. These are ancient ways of communicating things that are beyond the present time's grasp. And we are so prideful in our own time to think that we've reached the peak of progress. Well, to tell you the truth, if you continue with that mindset, the peak of progress isn't reached until the 24th century. That is what humanity ends up dubbing the peak, the furthest limit, the world of perfect community and peace and universal agreement, where the species, they say, prevailed against the odds, though the earth had been covered up by layers and layers of progress, like a Tower of Babylon surrounding every square inch of Mother Earth, which was now just water and stone used to fucking go through pipes and up the 24 layers of the Earth's surface, which just so happens that in the 24th century, the 24th layer was also met. And this was the peak. A small science firm ended up engineering some kind of biological flesh that was able to be inhabited by your full entity and consciousness and all the words that we say for soul and heart, that your whole agency was able to inhabit, manifest, incarnate as Christ was God in the flesh, the creator and creation one, where you became this flesh that could be molded into anything of your liking. And you could participate in any debaucherous act within this flesh. And this flesh was just a commodity, and a commodity that everyone had because there was unity among the masses, and there was peace, and people were able to live out their vilest sins in the safeness of this new flesh. That's why Bystander refers to them as the modern cannibals of the 24th. And it's a time when nothing has any holiness or magic to it, and we've reached full understanding. We've reached the evolution of humanity. We have become gods, so to say. Yet in this time, there's no reverence for something beyond the self. And that's when the imagination begins to really dwindle. And it's already leaning in the wrong direction now. That's why the 20th century of the 2000s is such a crucial decade. And if we don't act without hesitation in the fullness of the imagination, we will have little chance after this decade to change things. And the inevitability of our fate in the year 3020, exactly 1,000 years from now, will leave all time and all place in ruins. In fact, beyond ruins, there won't even be ruins. We'll all be pulled into the abyss so fully that our existence never even happened. Infinity snaps, and the entire cosmos, with all its bubbles soaring toward the heavens, all its dimensions and times and places and mysteries we have yet to unfold, it all snaps into oblivion. And there's no light, and there's no reflection, and there's no face in the deep. Pure nothing. Hollow. Endless hollow. You're listening to Slapstick Machete. I'm sitting out here on my balcony and I'm dropping you some really dope motherfucking science fiction. I feel really proud. I've been hanging with my friends and I've been like handing out fucking poems and refrigerator art and cassette tapes and zines and art and poetry magazines, and I've been just spreading the gospel of the imagination. Hallelujah. And I am considering myself a psychedelic preacher and someone who is a marginal prophet that will die long before his words are observed and then studied by archaeologists of the future, blurring the line between fantasy and reality, as they say, because they have no other way of saying what this is. This is uncategorizable. Maybe my full intent is to create something that you cannot reference, that is so damn bizarre and bonkers that you feel like every time you've used the word psychedelic, it hasn't been worthy until now.
So, we're going to pray this in two parts. We're going to pray first for those who know in the first year of life they were separated from mother more than 2 days. And then we're going to pray for those, or a day or you know you've been separated, and you've had some of these manifestations. And then we're going to pray for you. We don't care if you shed a tear. That's not what it's about. And then we're going to pray for
Authorized personnel only. Please step back. Authorized personnel only. Please step back. Authorized personnel only. Please step back. Or you will be escorted onto the premise. This is your last chance. Authorized personnel only.
end this with a poem by Álvaro de Campos. It's from a New Directions annual, an anthology of poetry. This is from, I believe, 71. Yeah. In the middle of the book is a poem by Álvaro de Campos, and it goes like this. This will only be a portion of it because it's a long poem. Let me sit down for this. Ugh. Alone on the deserted dock this summer morning, I look out along the sandbar. I look out toward the indefinite. I look, and I am happy to see, small, black, and clear, a steamer approaching. It appears so neat and classical by itself, so far away. It leaves on the air far behind an empty banner of smoke. It comes in, and the morning comes with it, and on the river, here and there, in keeping with maritime life, sails are hoisted, tugboats advance, small boats hover behind vessels tied up at the dock. A vague breeze rises, but my soul belongs least with what I see, with the approaching steamer, because it belongs with distance and with the morning, with the seagoing sense of this moment, with the sad sweetness rising in me like nausea, like the beginning of wanting to vomit. But spiritually, I look at the far-off steamer with a great independence of spirit, and in me, a flywheel begins to whir lightly. The steamers coming in along the sandbar in the morning bring with them, in my view, the sad and happy mystery of arrivals and departures, bring memories of far-off docks and other moments, of other customs of common humanity and other places, all the hauling in and all the sailing off of ships, and this I feel stirring in me as if it were my own blood, unconsciously symbolic, terribly pretentious, with metaphysical implications. What painfully dredging